ELO at 14 life, what does this all mean? To many it doesn't actually matter if you play in DTs or Survivor Type 2, but did you know you can make a lot of clints out of manipulating ELO trends? But I shan't talk about those secrets today, however. Anyway, to many who play ELO casually or seriously, this is very important. So let me just give you some background to these changes. In an attempt to make ELO a little bit more interesting, recently UR implemented the 15 life rule in ELO, and to the dismay of many ELO players. Now of course there are loads of kind of hate messages and I'm going to quit the game sort of thing to every kind of change in UR, but unfortunately this, weirdly enough, this change actually sparked up so much debate actually, and especially since it completely changed how ELO was played. Fierce flame wars went on in the public forums. On the one side, La Junta, or the Junta, however the way you pronounce it, Vampire Clan players, and players sick of poison and piranhas. On the other side, players who felt haters needed to adapt to the changes and quit relying on 2-hit KOs. These, wars went on for ages until last Monday, where UR have gone for the middle ground and decided on 14 life. Many of my less experienced players will be probably thinking to themselves that 1 life really doesn't matter, and what is all the big deal about 15 life? Well, let me just talk about 15 life in general, really. The huge problem was that haters, it's just harder to kill everyone, unfortunately, which is why there's such fierce debate in the first place. Matches are now determined in 4 rounds instead of 2 or 3, although Dakota with SOA, Fury plus Timber is always an option for those who miss the days of Kolos. Though the huge problem is that the haters don't like the dependency on hands. I myself don't see this as a huge problem. Just make your deck so it just isn't as unbalanced or whatever, or dependent on hands. But the problem is, I still find it a problem, like a 9-star hand versus a 15-star hand, and when you also have to weigh in the fact that poison or PM destroys bad hands. However, I feel the biggest problem was how unstable the opening was. At 12 life, poison wasn't such a huge problem, and you didn't have to pill like there was no tomorrow in the first round. However, in 15 life, players would use cheap poison block tactics to completely destroy you, and unless you had the super rule counters, it was actually nearly impossible to predict your opponent in such a way that you'll be able to block the poison. Most annoyingly enough, though, with the 15 life was that La Junta and Vampire Clan getting completely nerfed when they actually already sucked in ELO. Now I realise there's going to be a lot of die-hard fans who go, "Oh, La Junta are awesome," and as well as Vampire Clan, but let's face it, when was the last time you got into the 1400s without EMF or Kerosene CR or Melissa CR, whatever? I feel, there was a lot of points against the 50 life rule, which is why this new change might drag us towards equilibrium a little bit more. So anyway, let's talk about 14 life. So 14 life actually does a lot of things. It balances up the freaks a little bit. I wouldn't say a whole lot, but it does balance them up a little bit. And according to Power ELO, the freaks have actually gone down in how much they've been played. So hopefully that will get those freaks out of the way. And they've also, I believe, have nerfed poison a little bit. Like they've put the temp ban hammer on a few cards, such as Azel. Azel's gone. To my dismay, actually, because I was hoping to use Azel this week, and stuff like that. It does also mean that La Junta and Vampire Clan can 2-hit KO a little bit more, although I would still say their 2-stars are really useless now, in my opinion, due to this new ELO mode, because they're no longer able to 2-hit KO with a lot of stuff. They'll probably have to Fury instead, and no one likes to Fury with La Junta, it's just not right. Semi-evolved cards remain unbanned, which is pretty good change. That's a good change. I don't like spending so much clints on unevolved stuff. Unfortunately, one problem that remains is that the piranhas are still huge. According to Power ELO, piranhas have another dominant week in ELO again. I feel at least 4% of that is because of the Bonnie LD missions, though. You have unfortunately failed to nerf some of the characters in ELO. Is it so some people can do the Bonnie LD missions? I feel you all have done this tactically to urge people to try and finish off the Bonnie LD missions, thus promote people playing the game, blah blah blah, more money, stuff like that. I don't want to go into such kind of cynicism in this vid. Whatever, I would just say hold on for a little bit longer. That would be my advice. Wait 2 weeks once the Bonnie LD is gone. I feel that then the UR will then get the temp ban hammer on loads of the Piranha cards and stuff like that. So things like that. I would just say wait a little bit longer, and hopefully UR will get some temp bans in, which will be pretty good, I have to say, on the Piranhas, because they are really overpowered at this moment. Anyway, so if you want to know more about individual clans, I would ask me in a PM, as, talking about them in this vid would take forever. Whatever the case, thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in to UR Talk 16 in the future. I'll see you then.